We have Mr. Gagan Banga on the phone line to talk about what arguably will happen, which is a PIL which could be filed. Kamini Jaiswal told us this morning that it has not been filed as well. Mr. Banga, thanks for joining in. Your comments, the nature of the PIL that we've accessed seems to be similar to the one filed in the past as well, just that the quantum of people who are doing this are probably more seasoned in nature. How do you plan to counter this spate of moves that are happening against you?
So these spate of moves are clearly motivated to perhaps disturb the merger process, and one follows the other. So this time we've chosen that we would want to fight this out in courts to end this speculation once and for all. What perhaps some of these whistleblowers or blackmailers or whoever they are wishing to not understand is that a company which is a regulated entity goes through annual financial inspections. We further have submitted ourselves to due diligence by various regulators over the course of the last 3 to 4 months as these allegations have circulated. Every regulator is looking at what exactly are these allegations containing. And so from our point of view, I would want to put it on record today, as I have done in the past, that no borrower of Indiabulls Housing has on date a single rupee of investment in our founder and chairman's companies, personal companies, Sameer Gehlaut's companies. Sameer Gehlaut further is absolutely debt-free. He has no borrowings whatsoever. So all these allegations are false on the very basic fact. And if you go through further details, it is more malicious. Even this whole attempt that a PIL has not been filed and it has been circulated on WhatsApp, I am at sea to understand what is the logic other than just to trying to create sensationalism.
Yeah, we did try to point that out in the morning as well, Gagan, that that this has not been filed as yet. But we did speak to the potential petitioners, and they did say that they're going to file, and which is why this clarification helps. Now, you did mention that some of these, you've been under not scrutiny would be a wrong term, but as any other listed entity would be, there are entities which are looking at your financial statements as well. 2 points that this PIL apparently will make or is making, and I'm guessing that they would have come under scrutiny if indeed people would have looked at them. Can you clarify for us? The draft petition apparently talks about this round tripping and has specifically mentioned 5 names: ADAG, Chordia, Vatica, DLF, AmeriCorp. Can you talk about this? What's the business relationship that Indiabulls Housing Finance has had with these groups? And has there been large sums of money that have been lent and then taken back by Indiabulls from any of these entities?
DLF has already gone on record. They filed it with the stock exchanges. I think a few of these other borrowers also are reaching out to both the media as well as since they are not listed, they may not be filing with stock exchanges, but they are definitely reaching out to the media to clarify that none of them have any investments or round tripping or whatever else. DLF has been a partner for the real estate side of our business back since 2006. As we speak, there is no investment that DLF Limited holds in any Indiabulls Group company or any of Sameer Gehlaut's companies. You have to perhaps appreciate, and the public at large and stakeholders have to appreciate, that Indiabulls Housing is part of a more complex conglomerate with business interests in real estate development, stockbroking, pharma, and so on. So in each of those businesses, what those companies are doing independently has nothing whatsoever to do with Indiabulls Housing. Indiabulls Housing is perhaps the only company today which can claim that, we had lent out monies to the ADAG group, and the ADAG group has paid us already back in full. So, there are other sorts of issues on with ADAG. Without going into that, at least we have received all of our monies back. So if our stakeholders have benefited from a loaning transaction, which has got back our principal and interest, and we've made profit on that, and despite that, it is being used by whistleblowers to create sensationalism, then I don't know, how else am I supposed to conduct business?
Yeah, well, no, fair point. I appreciate that. Just wondering these specific amounts that these guys are talking about, Gagan. I mean, 66 crores in a subsidiary, etc. Have they been done, and are these in the routine course of business, or is this?
These are in routine course of business, and how do these guys get access? Because these are all, numbers which have been formed part of annual reports, have been duly submitted to registrar of companies, MCA, SEBI, et cetera, et cetera. So if they are part of our disclosure, we obviously know that, what we are doing, and these transactions are a normal course of business. Some of those transactions have progressed. Some of them could not progress depending on the specific nature of the real estate project. So without getting into, the very specific as to why what happened, I would like to again go back to the general but very specific principle today, that the general but very specific outcome today, that no borrower of Indiabulls Housing has any investment in any other group company or in any of Samir Gehlot's companies.
Okay, that's candid enough. Okay, something off borrowing, Gagan, and one last question from mine, really. This draft PIL says that, the one that we have access to, speaks about some large number of companies registered in the same address as that of Indiabulls. Now, one, is this true? Two, what would your response be to this?
Again, this is a matter of record. Anyone can go to the ROC website to check how many subsidiaries does Indiabulls have, as well as on our main 2 or 3 offices which are used as registered offices, especially the one in Delhi where the business got started from, is an address M6263 Connaught Place. One can go and search there. You will find some 150 odd companies. So I don't know where this 12,000 number is coming from. What is the logic? And with the bare minimum of independent diligence, you or anyone else can figure out, what the reality is.
Fair call. We wish you all the best, Gagan Banga. Thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking to us at Bloomberg Quint.